let me ask you something. You just came off your first big AAU or club weekend of the spring and summer season. Maybe you're at Pit Jam Fest. Maybe you're at Spooky Nook or one of the big select events on the girls or boys side. Gyms were packed everywhere. Coaches, college coaches were everywhere. I mean, I was sitting there watching a game at Spooky Nook. I saw Dawn Staley a few steps away from Gino Oriema. That was a little crazy when you think about what happened a few weeks ago. That's the level of attention these events are getting now. And now everyone goes home thinking the same thing. Okay, recruiting started. Now what do we do? Well, that's where the question becomes very difficult. What do we do now? And I'm telling you, I heard it all weekend. Like I said, I was at Spooky Nook walking around, walking by the stands, and I heard the same conversations over and over with parents. Should we be reaching out to college coaches right now? Well, we're only freshmen. We have time. We're juniors. Are we behind? It's the same stuff over and over. And honestly, it's not your fault as a parent. No one ever teaches parents how this process actually works. You're just trying to figure it out as you go. And you're hearing different things from different people. So to help you with that, I put something together. It's called the College Recruiting Jumpstart Pack. It's completely free. It's one of my most downloaded resources that I've created. It's 4 simple guides in one, and it'll help you get started and begin to understand how this whole process actually works. If you're sitting there thinking right now, what do we do next? Well, this is a good place to start. Grab it now in the link below or in my bio, or visit keithmondillo.com for the free resource. Now, let me walk you through what I see happen after weekends like this every year. Families leave these tournaments feeling like they just took a big step forward. You played in a lot of games. You saw strong competition. The gyms were full. There were coaches everywhere. You might have even seen a high-level Power 4 coach just a few feet away from your court. So naturally, you walk out thinking, all right, we're in it now. And that feeling's real. But then everyone goes home, the weekend ends, and the games stop and everything gets quiet. There's just no calls, there's no emails, and there's no real direction. And this is where things start to get confusing for families. Because now you're sitting there thinking, did we do something wrong? Should we be doing more right now? Are we behind? And the reality is, most families don't know how to answer those questions. Not because they're not paying attention, not because they don't care. It's because no one has ever explained how this process actually works. So what happens next is very predictable. Families start to drift a little bit. They wait to see who reaches out. They assume if their son or daughter played well, something should happen. They think the event itself was the recruiting. And slowly, without realizing it, they move from being active over the weekend to being passive after it. And that's where things start to break down, because recruiting doesn't happen just because you played well in a gym. It happens through direction, communication, and understanding how the recruiting system works. And if you don't have that yet, you're left guessing. That's where you hear so many different opinions. One family says you have time. Another one says you should be reaching out now. Another one says just keep playing. And now you're trying to figure out what actually applies to your situation. That's the hard part. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video, because what you should be doing right now depends completely on where you are in the process. All right, so let's start with the youngest group. If your son or daughter is a rising freshman, class of 2030, I'm going to take a lot of pressure off you right now. You're not being recruited. And more importantly, you should not be worried about who's recruiting you and who's not. That's not the job at this stage. What just happened this weekend, all those games, all the tournaments, all those people in the gym, that's exposure to the environment, not recruiting. So what you should actually be doing, first, your athlete needs to be focused on development, get stronger, learning how to play, understanding the game, and just competing. Honestly, they should be having fun right now, because if they don't enjoy this part, The rest of it becomes really difficult later on. Now, from the parent side, your role is a little different. This is where you start to get oriented to the process. You should be spending time this year doing something very simple but very important. Start going to college games. And I don't mean just one level. Go watch Division 1, 2, and 3. Sit there and actually watch the game and ask yourself, where does my son or daughter fit right now? Not where you hope they'll be in 2 or 3 years, right now. Because that's where this whole process starts. And from there, you can begin putting together a school list. But I want you to think about this the right way. This is not a serious list yet. This should actually be fun to build. Break it into 3 simple groups. Schools your child would love to play at, schools they could grow into with development, and schools they could step onto a roster and compete right now. And again, that's based on today's ability, not projections, because this list is not about committing anywhere. It's about learning the landscape. It's about helping your family start to understand what levels exist, what those levels look like, and where you might fit in over time. That's it. If you do that well this year, you're ahead of most families already. Now let's move on to the rising sophomores, class of 2029. This is where things start to shift a little bit, but not in the way families think. You're still closer to freshman year than you are to being recruited. And I want to be clear about something. For most players at this level, your communication to college coaches right now is probably not going to get much response. Unless you're a high level prospect, a lot of Division 1, 2, and 3 programs are not actively recruiting sophomores yet. That's just the reality. Now, I know there's exceptions. So if you're sending an email and don't hear back, it's not personal, it's just timing. But that doesn't mean you do nothing. This is actually a really important year. This is where you start getting clear on where you fit, what level makes sense, and what needs to improve. Because now you've had a year of high school, you've played against better competition, and you've seen where you stack up. This is where you need to start being honest about where you are right now, not where you hope to be right now. Your school list should start to reflect that. It's still flexible, but it should be a little more refined than freshman year. It's more realistic and more informed. This is also the year where things like film start to matter. You should start saving games, building a basic highlight video, and think about what coach would actually want to see it. Not perfect, just organized. And here's another important piece. You should start learning how communication works, not blasting emails, not forcing anything, just understanding what should be said, when it should be said, and how coaches actually respond. Because when time comes, you don't want to be learning that under pressure. And for parents, this is where it gets tricky. You're going to start hearing more opinions, more comparison, and more white noise. Stay grounded. Every athlete's path is different. Your job right now is not to chase recruiting. It's to understand the process and get positioned the right way. Now, let's move on to the rising juniors, the class of 2028. This is where things start to get real. After your sophomore year, heading into the spring and early summer, this is when college coaches begin to reach out. Not across the board, but this is the window where you start to see movement. And you're going to learn something pretty quickly. You're going to get a sense of what level is showing interest and what level's not, and where you might fit right now. That's important. But I want to be careful here because a lot of families take that information the wrong way. If you're getting interest early, that's great. That gives you direction. If you're not hearing from certain levels right now, that's okay too. That doesn't mean you can't get there later. It just means you're not there yet. That's a big difference. Now, here's the part that matters most at this stage. Coaches are recruiting 2028 athletes right now. And if you're not on their radar yet, you cannot sit back and wait. This is where communication becomes critical. And this is where most families struggle. They've never been shown how to reach out, what to say, when to follow up, and how to stay on a coach's radar. So what happens? They either don't reach out at all or they send one email and stop. And then they assume it's not working. When in reality, they just didn't have a plan. At this stage, you need to be doing both. Yes, you should be focused on skill development, getting stronger, improving your IQ in your sport. That never stops. But at the same time, you need to be actively building communication with coaches. That means reaching out to programs that fit, follow up after events, and starting real conversations. Because this is the year where those conversations turn into opportunities. And I'll say this again because this is important. The biggest mistake families make in recruiting is waiting. I've seen it all the time. They wait to be seen, they wait to be contacted, and they wait for something to happen. At this stage, waiting will cost you. You need a plan and you need to execute it consistently. Now, let's talk about the rising seniors, the class of 2027. This is it. This is no longer about learning the process or figuring things out. This is about execution. Right now, as we sit here at the end of April, going into summer, this is when things start to move quickly. And it's going to look a little different depending on your sport. Some sports are already making decisions. Others, like men's basketball, will continue to recruit well into the summer, even after you graduate. So there are opportunities out there. But here's the key: you cannot wait for them to come to you. At this stage, you need to be aggressive and intentional. That means you should be reaching out to coaches consistently. You should be getting on phone calls and Zooms. And you should be setting up campus visits. And you should be attending prospect camps and showcases on college campuses, not randomly, with a purpose. Because now you're not just trying to get noticed, you're trying to find the right fit and secure a spot. And this is where a lot of families make a mistake. They hold on to a level that might not be realistic right now. So I'll say this clearly. If you're not getting Division One interest at this point, that's okay. There are great opportunities at Division Two and Three. There are great programs. You'll have great experiences and you'll have an unbelievable career. And yes, players move up. It happens all the time. But right now, your job is not to chase a label. Your job is to find the right place to play. That's where this becomes a decision, not just a process. You should be asking, where do I fit? Where can I contribute? Where can I develop? And where do I actually see myself? And once those opportunities start coming, you need to be ready because at this stage, things don't sit. Rosters get filled, coaches move on quickly. And if you're not prepared to act, you can miss it. So, yes, development always matters. And yes, continuing to improve always matters. But right now, your focus needs to be your communication, your exposure, and your decision making. And it all needs to happen together. Before we wrap this up, I want to make sure you understand something about how college coaches are recruiting right now, because this is a part most families will never see or hear. Coaches are not just sitting in a gym looking for high school players anymore. They're building rosters in a very specific order. First, they take care of their own roster. They try and figure out who's staying. Then they always go to the transfer portal. Then junior college. And then finally, they recruit high school players. That's the reality right now. And it's happening at every level. I was talking to a friend of mine who coaches at the Division One level. She was the head coach of a lower level Division One program for years. And now she's the top assistant at a very strong mid-major. And I asked her how they were building their roster this year. She told me they were carrying 12 scholarship players. Not that they didn't have room for 15, but they were only going with 12. Four of those players are returning. So I said, how many are you bringing in from the portal? She looked me right in the eye and she said, all 8. Not one freshman. Not because they don't like high school players. That's just where college athletics is right now. Now, that doesn't mean high school players aren't getting recruited. They are. In every way, shape, or form, they're still getting recruited. You saw it all this weekend. There were high-level coaches in those gyms, because they're recruiting high-level players. But for the majority of families, you need to understand the environment you're stepping into. And that's why I keep coming back to the same thing. At every level, you need a plan. Freshman year, sophomore year, junior, senior year, it all looks different. But if you don't understand how the system works, you end up guessing. And guessing in this process leads to frustration. If you're a family just getting started, especially heading into freshman or sophomore year, this is where I would start. Get oriented. Understand what this process actually is before you start navigating it. And that's exactly why I created the college recruiting on-ramp system. It's not a recruiting service. It's an orientation for families so you understand how coaches actually recruit, what matters at each stage, and how to move forward with clarity. If you want to learn more, I'll link it in the description below or just head over to my website, keithmondillo.com. And if you found this helpful, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep putting out content like this to help families like yours understand how this process really works. And remember, and I always say this, I am not a recruiting service. I am an educational platform that helps families navigate the college athletic recruiting process the right way. Take care, and we'll see you soon.